Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Sabriana and I'm a student from Universitas Bina Sarana Informatika. Today I'm going to explain about adverb of frequency. In this presentation, we will learn what they mean, how to use them, and some explain that we can find in daily life. So, let's get started. First, let's talk about what an adverb is. An adverb is a word that describes a verb, an adjective, or even another adverb. It gives you more information about how, when, where, or how often something happens. For example, she runs quickly, they work hard. In each of these sentences, the adverb explain how the action happens. Now let's move on to adverbs of frequency. And adverbs of frequency tell us how often we do something. It answers the question how often. For example, it's I always eat breakfast. She sometimes goes to the gym. So this word help us describe habits and routines in our daily life. There are some common adverbs of frequency that you should know. They are always, usually, often, sometimes, seldom, rarely, and never. Each one shows a different level of frequency, from something that happens all the time to something that never happens. Frequency chart. Let's look at this scale. Always means every time or 100%. Usually means almost every time, around 90%. Often means many times, about 70%. Sometimes means around half of the time, or 50%. Seldom means not very often, around 30%. Rarely means almost never, about 10%. Never means not at all, or 0%. So if I say I always brush my teeth, it means I do it every day. But if I say I never smoke, it means I don't do it at all. Now, let's learn where to put this adverb in a sentence. Now, let's learn where to put these adverbs in a sentence. If the sentence has a normal verb, the adverb goes before the main verb. For example, I always eat breakfast. We usually go to campus. But when the sentence uses the verb to be, such as am, is, or are, the adverb comes after it. For example, she is never late. They are often noisy. So remember, before the verb for normal verb, after the verb for to be. Let's look at some example of positive tense sentence. I always study English. She usually helps her mom. They sometimes play games. We rarely go out at night. He is never angry. We use this adverb to talk about habits, activities, or things that happens regularly. Now, let's talk about negative sentence. When we use negative, the adverb usually goes after don't or doesn't and before the main verb. For example, I don't always eat rice. I never smoke. They don't often play basketball. They never come late to class. We don't always agree with the teacher. We seldom watch TV on weekdays. So always place the adverb correctly after don't or doesn't. Next, let's see how we use them in question. We usually put the adverb after the subject and before the main verb. For example, do you always wake up early? Does she often study at night? Are you usually late? This kind of question helps you ask about someone's habits. And when we answer this question, we can give short and simple answer. For example, do you always eat breakfast? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Are you usually busy? Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Short answer make our conversation sounds more natural and polite. Besides adverb, we can also use time expression to talk about frequency. For example, once a week, twice a month, 3 times a year, every day or every night. For example, we can say, I go jogging twice a week or we meet every Friday. This phrase also show how often we do something. Now, let's compare. We can say I always eat rice that use an adverb, or we can say I eat rice every day that use a time expression. Both are correct, but they are used differently in sentence. Let's practice a little. Fill in the blanks. 1. I brush my teeth at night. 2. She goes to school on Sunday. 3. They are late for class. And this is the correct answer is 1 always, 2 never, 3 usually. So we say I always brush my teeth at night. 2. She never goes to school on Sunday. 3. They are usually late for class. Next, another quick practice. Which sentence is correct? I go always to the gym. I always go to the gym. The correct one is I always go to the gym. Remember the adverb comes before the main verb. Here are some common mistakes you should avoid. I go always to campus. It's wrong. The correct answer is I always go to campus. He is usually study at night. The correct is he usually studies at night. Be careful with the order and the verb form. Next, let's try a short mini quiz to check your understanding. 1. What question does adverb of frequency answer? Its answer how often. 2. Where do we put it in a sentence? Before the main verb or after the verb? It's to be. 3. What's the opposite of always? The opposite of always is never. Now let's see some real life example of adverbs of frequency. I always drink coffee in the morning. My sister sometimes forgets her keys. We never smoke at school. My dad usually drives to work. They are sentences you can really use when talking about your daily routines. To summarize everything, adverb of frequency show how often an action happens. They usually come before the main verb or after to be. Common adverb, it's always, usually, often, sometimes, seldom, rarely, and never. Use correct position to sound natural. That's all from me. Thank you very much for watching and listening to my presentation. I hope now you understand more about adverb of frequency. Let's keep practicing English every day and use this effort to make our sentence sounds better. Have a great day everyone. Thank you.